We should ask ourselves, how have we come to be here? As a people, we have survived the voyage. As a people, we have broken the chains that sought to break us. As a people, we have suffered indignity after indignity as they were forced upon us. In doing so, as a people, we have planted ourselves here proudly, defiantly, and permanently. As individuals, we should ask ourselves, how have we come to be here? As individuals, we were not forced upon the slavery ship. It is our African ancestors, the original African Americans, and descendants of the oldest of people who made the voyage. It is by their strength, found through fear faced, that our roots are deeply planted in this land. They, laying head to toe in filth and squalor, were chained to a future of misery, promised and fulfilled. Therefore, you and I are here. Yes, we should ask ourselves as individuals, how have we come to be here? You and I have not felt the sting of the whip. Gripped in the hand of hate, swung with the vigor of injustice, it was the whip that sought in vain to beat out pride and stamp out hope. It was those first generations of African Americans who lived as someone else's property and stood fully facing the blindness of injustice. It was those generations before us who labored under the overseer that allowed this fate of history for us. In those seconds of history, the overseer and master alike saw slaves, while in those same seconds of history beat the heart of a people enslaved. Skin scarred, clothes dirty and torn, whip always threatening, a lesser people would have given up. However, the soul of a strong people is impossible to scar. The spirit of a free heart is hard to dirty. The dream of justice for one's children survives even the vilest of despair. Our ancestors, so strong, their spirit flew free, even while their feet were shackled, and now you and I are here. We, through reflection, need to ask ourselves, how have we come to be here? We were not denied the drinking fountain or forced to the back of the bus, not you or me. It was our grandfathers and grandmothers and their mothers and fathers who demanded for us the front of the bus. It is by their insistence that we now drink from any public fountain. We drink without fear. We drink and suffer no indignation for quenching our thirst to be treated as equal in a land where equality is everything. We did not march those long miles and suffer the bite of rabid hate unrestrained. Our blood did not color the streets, nor our necks tighten the rope, nor our bodies feel the bomb's blast, nor our homes destroyed by hate and midnight fire, nor our right to exist free from fear threatened. It was our father's father and their mother's mothers who took up the fight, and now you and I are here. We should remind ourselves, and teach those who do not know, that we are linked to the ancients through our African roots. Those ancients were first to feel the earth beneath their feet. Those ancients with great civilizations like Ghana, Songhai, Mali, and the Kingdom of Goa. It is in the acknowledgement of our African past that we remind ourselves and teach our children that we are not the descendants of a slave. Slavery is not the beginning of our story. Slavery is not the spring from which we sprang. Slavery was merely a test that is now a testament to our strength. We are the owners of an incredible and yet glorious past carved out of the stone of time by our ancient ancestors. Their tools, their wit, wisdom, patience, and courage. We should remind ourselves that we are not African, but African American. Firmly separated from that distant shore by our American past, our right to our American identity was paid for by the blood of our ancestors, and we will never relinquish it. In that acknowledgement, we can allow for the label Black History. At the same time, understand that we are simply American history. Our past encompasses North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and all of those spaces in between. We should make our children understand that we cannot be separated, nor can we separate the history of the United States from the history of the African Americans. The plurality of the United States is the hallmark of its greatness. We will not allow for one culture or one ethnic identity to be cut from the whole, nor shall we allow ourselves not to be part and parcel of that history. We should ask ourselves as individuals, how have we come to be here? Through that reflection, we will underscore our past, but just as important, acknowledge that we have an obligation to the future. We are obligated to sow the history that has yet to come. We are charged to take up reins of our culture that began in prehistory. We are charged to never allow to be vanquished from the world the beauty of our heritage or the significance of our contributions. We are charged with this duty by the ancients. We cannot say no. We are charged to cash in on our citizenship that was paid for by our ancestors. We will not accept less. The future history is an indifferent wind that blows neither good nor evil. It is up to us, and so we have been duly charged to bend that wind as we will it. We must be pioneering like the ancients we claim. We must rise above the filth, squalor, chains, and whip, and stand as did our ancestors. We must fight off each indignity, battle through each injustice, and survive even the most terrible of times, as did our grandfathers and grandmothers, as did their fathers and mothers. We should ask ourselves as individuals, how have we come to be here? Through that lesson of history, we will take up our weapons to create our future history. We shall battle injustice with courage, defeat ignorance with knowledge. We shall bestow on our children the pride of knowing the unbroken tether that binds them to the past and obligates them to forge a future of glory. We stand here now at a crossroad. It took eons for us to get here. Looking back across time, the footprints are filled with sweat, blood, tears, promise, and hope. We are here now at a crossroad, just like generations before us. We have choices to make. We can stand here and be overtaken by time, and from this point on, historians will say what we once were. We can go left or right, where the traveling promises to be easier. It is clearly up to us. The past can only speak for the past. It is up to us to give voice to our future. Let us give ourselves here. Let us put the hopes and dreams of all that has come before us on our shoulders and carry them forward. Yes, our past, from the ancients and through our ancestors, was an incredible journey, but our true glory lays in the future we have yet to make. We have arrived at this crossroad by courage of others. Yes, we can find comfortable shade underneath the big tree. Yes, we can stand here and look back from whence we came and count ourselves lucky. However, we know we owe much too much to stand here and call this our journey's end. We are challenged by our ancestors, by time, by nature, by our very existence. No, let us not tarry here too long. We have an obligation that must be met, a history to write, and a future to explore. Shoulder to shoulder, let us move from this place to where our destiny lies.